Hey guys, it's Paul from Ashen. It's a new comic book day for the week of March 28th, and we're going to get started right now.
Hey guys, Tim from the Comic Book Store and from Caves and Scowls Podcast, and we're going to do the trades, but before we do the trades, we've got a new previews, right? Right? So let's randomly find some things in here. There's so many things. Fill out your previews. I'm going to give somebody some nod right here. Let's see. Starfish. Light the dark. Armed with a cosmic-powered jetpack she found on a fishing trip with her grandfather, 13-year-old Novi Polek defends the world as Starfish, tipping the scales in the battle between light and darkness. That's adorable. You could own that. It's not even expensive. Good for you. See? There you go. You gotta remember to tag that person. They'll be happy. And then the Marvel has their own previews. You're going to get a Tony Stark Iron Man #1. Wakanda Forever. There's a bunch of new #1s. Thor #1 with male Thor, presumably. And then there's so much crap in here. Jesus. The Immortal Hulk. Immortal! So there's a bunch of new things for you to add to your pull bins, and you should. First up on the trades, I've got Archie, 1,000-page comics treasury. Archie is amazing. You know what you're getting with Archie, so read it. We got Star Wars, Force of Destiny. This is IDW putting out Star Wars geared towards the children. And, hey, look, it's good old what's-her-name that was in that other thing. That movie I saw once. Gasolina, Volume 1. I got distracted because the back is really cool. We've got Retcon. This looked really good. I thumbed through that. This also has a distracting back. It's a giant bear with machine guns. I might have to read that just for that. Steven Universe. Punching Up. This is Volume 2 of their ongoing series. We've got X-Men Gold, Volume 4. I don't like the X-Men. We've got Thor versus Hulk. This is the first time this has ever been in print. Why it didn't come out during Thor, I couldn't tell you. The Realm, Volume 1. This is a really cool series from Image Comics. You should definitely check that out. We've got Volume 5 of Green Lanterns. This is a pretty interesting book. A lot of trades this week. We've got Invincible, #25. This is the final trade, including that last issue. That was very good. We've got Copperhead, Volume 4. I didn't keep up with this book, but I do enjoy it. Captain Marvel, the Miss Marvel years. Carol Danvers' Miss Marvel years. I read this in issues when it came out. It was really good. If you like the character, you should check that out. We've got Batgirl, Volume 3. And we've got The Mighty Thor, also Volume 3. So, check it out.
All right, guys. First up, we have Avengers 686. It is all the Avengers versus a sentient Hulk that is not Bruce Banner. And it's just so... I'm running out of room. It's an interesting episode. It is kind of the culmination of the battle, even though some stuff dropped. Even though the culmination of the battle is done, the series is not over. It's going to be interesting to see how the next 4 issues pan out with this. But the game is, in essence, done. Did we win? Did we lose? You're going to have to read the book to find out.
All right, first up, we have Shadowman, #1 from Valiant Comics. This book is a lot of setup, but you don't need to know a lot about this specific side of the Valiant universe. It does interact a little bit with some things that have happened in the past. You don't really need to worry about that. Andy Diggle does a good job of setting up the universe and telling you where you need to go going forward. It's a pretty good book. I don't know if I'm in completely. I'm torn. I enjoyed it, though. It was done well.
Next up, we have Cyberforce issue #1, and it's an interesting book. It is not a reboot. It is not really a retelling. Basically, for those who don't realize what's going on in the Top Cow universe, they like to keep everything within the same universe. So everything that you happen to see that comes around in Top Cow, at least in some way, has a very loose type of feel to the rest of the universe. So in one of their other main storylines, they killed a very important character that basically broke the timelines. And that's where you're seeing some of these things that are able to come through, like Witchblade and Cyberforce. So if you've never read any of the Cyberforce on before, this allows you to take a fresh start and learn kind of an origin of what's going on and how this is going to progress. The art is very different from what Silvestri did in the 90s, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because the art was very good in this book, and the writing is enough, even though it doesn't tell you a lot of what's going on, and there's not a ton of movement in the storyline. It's just a very dialogue-heavy book with one of the main characters kind of coming to the realization of what they are and what has happened to them, with a brief outline of who the main bad guy is going to be over the next couple arcs. So I like it. It's a good book. Gives me just enough nostalgia to want to read it, but a clear storyline to make me interested to keep on going. So you should pick this one up.
Next up, I got Lockjaw, #2. I enjoyed that first issue so much, I read #2. And if you thought D-Man was an obscure pull, there's an even more obscure pull coming your way. Somebody that only shows up when things need to be silly. I'll give you a hint. They're on the cover to the next issue, so check that out. But this book is still silly. It's still fun. Nothing earth-shattering happens in this, but there's good interaction between Kazar and D-Man. Lockjaw is just kind of a tertiary character in this. It's kind of strange, but this is a weird book. You find out a little bit more as to what he is trying to tune into and trying to find. And it's going to be silly, so you should read this so you can read #3, which is probably going to be very weird.
And my pick of the week is Dark Knight's Metal, issue #6.
Metal!
It's the last time Tim's going to be able to say that because of this. This is this.
Metal!
Well, I mean, he's probably going to try to come up with something, but this is the only one that really matters.
Metal!
Now, if you've been reading our stuff, I've been really big on this book until the last issue. The last issue made me want to throw the book and not even really finish this. I'm really appreciative that they didn't go hard on what I assumed was going to be Detective Chimp Saves the Day. It didn't, thank God, because that would have been stupid. If Super Chimp and Detective Chimp and a bunch of other chimps decided they were going to save the world for all of us. In reality, while this does have a lot of hints of what kind of happened with Blackest Night, as far as an ending I can think of, this is a very satisfying ending that was worth the read. The storytelling really comes together at the end, and it is a satisfying ending, and the epilogue sets up a lot of what's going on and directly into the next series that's going to be going through, which is Justice League No Justice. Because of everything that happened in Metal, it's going to set up a lot of storylines moving forward, so we do get to see what's going on. I'm curious to see how the damage that was done in these books gets taken out in the rest of the series, or the rest of the series doesn't even sound like a word, series. But the rest of the series and seeing how things like Batman and Aquaman are affected by these, because they all kind of took some heavy losses. But yeah, you should definitely pick this one up. It is worth checking out the previous 6 issues.
Alright guys, it's time for my pick of the week. I chose this book because it has a cool title, okay? And I didn't know what to expect. And you know what? Paul, it's happening. Battlecats is my pick of the week. Yeah. I didn't know what I was going to get. Was I going to get a Thundercats ripoff? Was I going to... Why cats? What is this? Is it going to be bad? Well, it has a pretty cool art style. It's similar to what you've seen in Antarctic Press does a lot of this, where it's got like an anime-inspired kind of feel to it. This has that, but it also, this is everything you've ever wanted D&D to be, just with cat people. It's every type of D&D. You can tell this person loves D&D, and the action is there. The violence is definitely there, and this was just a fun read. I was pleasantly surprised. So, Mad Cave Comics, check it out. Battlecats. This is a really cool book. Alright guys, thank you. You reached the end of the video. Good for you. Now, you don't know this, but sometimes I get some free help putting the books into the bins every time and every week. And Kevin sometimes helps me. And he said that he needs to start watching our videos because at the end I probably say terrible things about him. So, Kevin, this is for you, you terrible waste of space. I cannot wait for the day where you leave this realm and you just die in a pool of your own shit and blood. There's a thing here, a thing there, a thing there, a thing there. I broke Paul.